There's so much more than just earning money, to be honest. But it's greater joy in seeing someone's life and family, right, being uplifted. Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I'm from Kueh Ho Jiak. We have been around for 7 years. Kueh Ho Jiak started by my mom. That was 13 years ago. She started home-based, and out of curiosity as I was helping her just through word of mouth, without marketing, there was just orders flowing in. Back then, my mom, in the kampong days, because she had like 11 siblings, she was the last daughter, right? So she had to fight for everything that she wanted. She became very driven. So she started making her own on there. Then she will go to different doors, to house knocking, selling on there. So it created that desire and passion in her. After trying different types of things, she still loved making kuehs. She will be sitting down for hours, for many hours. She just sit there and press the kuehs. It's something just very meaningful to her. When I saw that her eyes were filled with passion and purpose of whatever she was doing, so I wanted to, let everybody know about it and to reach out to more people. Kueh Ho Jiak means festive, means joy, means occasion. Our purpose and motto was to create kuehs that young people want to eat and to preserve the heritage and culture, to really provide healthier choice of kuehs with no colouring. I actually realized that a lot of young people, especially teenagers, they don't eat kueh. I say, hi, you don't want to try free kuehs? They'll tell me things like, oh, sorry, I don't eat kuehs. I start gathering a lot of feedbacks from the younger generation, why they don't eat kueh. A lot of people will tell me that because the ang ku kueh will stick on their teeth, or they will tell me things like, oh, the kuehs are very sweet, very gelat. After taking one, I'm so full. But the more I did the research for Kueh Ho Jiak, the more I saw how passionate my mom was. Instead of being so rigid in our own mindset that, okay, kuehs are supposed to be like that. No, I started changing to things that they want, yet sticking to its roots. She decided to make everything less sweet, less salty, trying to play around with the designs, with the fillings, trying to make it more modernized, making a traditionally fusion kueh. So we handmade the dough, we handmade the filling also. So sweet potatoes are the natural ingredients that we use to replace colouring. So before this, I was actually running my own curtain business. Back then, I will dress up for work, I will be meeting agents, interior designers. I like art since young, so I will mix and match fabrics, to create something different. So it became the same when I came to Kueh Ho Jiak. I made every kueh like a piece of art. Initially, when I joined the hawker industry, I found it very challenging. Starting everything from scratch again, it can be very intimidating. We have no experience in doing F&B at all. It has to be realistic, and I told myself that I'm not going to employ any staff. I'm just going to be stationed at a hawker center at least a good 9 months to a year. So I really know how to run it and what are the things to look out for, and to really be close to the customers. It's either all in or all out. If I decided to go all in, just really make the best out of it. There'll be people thinking oh, you're so young, why are you working in a hawker? It doesn't mean that that place is like that, I have to conform to that place. So I make changes. It doesn't mean that I'm in a hawker, then I cannot beautify. So we actually, back then, in 2017, we used Peranakan coloured glass. We actually decorated our stall. So I don't believe so much about where the place is and the environment, but more about making a change to create your own identity. At the start, when I worked with my mom, it was very challenging because both of us are very strong in character. When we feel that this is a decision that's really good for the business, we'll go all out as well. When we first started, she was in charge of the production and I took charge of the marketing, the business development and everything. We constantly quarreled badly because there are things that she probably don't see eye to eye and we don't know how to communicate. So it was constantly struggling and and getting upset with each other, but it's very real, It's very hard to segregate between like family and work because after work you still see each other. This is the real truth of a family business. I need to respect her, that she's my boss, and I need to respect that she definitely have more experience than me. That was the turning point. And when I was willing to listen to her, she was also willing to listen to me, yeah. Without this business, I don't think we will be where we are today. Today we are no longer like the past. We know where our threshold is. But I'm really thankful for this because we actually revived the whole family and it brought us so much closer. It makes us closer with our customers as well. I think it's really important to preserve the heritage and culture of kuehs because it started from back then. Our ancestors actually created all these delicacies, right? Every piece of kueh, the profit margin is really low, but every piece of kueh has a lot of hard work in it. If we don't make a stand to preserve this heritage and culture, these recipes, these kuehs, these delicacies, will just die off. Then we'll play around with the colors. Can you all guess what I'm doing? No. It's our pineapple ang ku kueh. Every other business, not just kueh, if you do not want to make a change, if you do not want to reach out to more people using social media or so forth, right? Somehow, you will just be taken off from the list. So constantly we have to be creators. We have to be creators to attract people. I think the goal is to try to be different, try to be as creative as we can, and really to think out of the box. We played around with the designs, we played around with the colors, and are yet sticking to our promise of making it no artificial coloring. It did come a point, when I asked myself, if I keep innovating, if I keep playing around with the colors, the shapes, as well as the designs and the feelings, will it come to a point it's no longer authentic? Then I decided, hey, but if I do not improvise, if I do not create and make it different, the young people will not be willing to try. The designs are not traditional, but what we do is we still sell the traditional kuehs at our store and our retails and online so that people can still know the actual beauty of kuehs, the very origin of kuehs. So there has to be a balance there still. Like I say, because Kueh Ho Jiak is like a business of love, to give out love, because we receive a lot of love also. I had a lot of customers who became our friends. So when they see the queue very long, they will even step forward to help me to sell. Still remember there was once a year I did halal dumplings. We didn't sleep for literally almost close to 2 days. I was so tired until I can hear bees buzzing in my ears. Then I asked my mom, I was like, what are we doing? After that, when my corporate clients write in to say how much their staff likes it and so forth, somehow I will forget everything I said. And it's like a brand new start again. It's all these small little things that gives us drives to carry on. I think as Singaporeans, we all love food. It's something very close to our heart. We are always on the go looking for what food is nice, bring our friends to new places to try new food, right? I was thinking, what about let's do something different? Let's do a farm-to-table concept workshop. I believe there's no one in the kueh making industry doing this. Everyone seems so stressed out after COVID and it became worse. People being retrenched. I see that, there's a lot of people going into depression, even children. These are things that's very real that's going around. So I was thinking, what can I do with what I have on hand? So I decided to come up with programs that actually works with more on the mental health. We have a new studio coming up in Chai Chee. So I wanted to do special series whereby, we will bring you to tour around our little farm, our little garden. You'll see the ingredients that we use mainly, which is sweet potatoes, pandan leaves, Then after that, if there's harvest, we'll use our harvest to make the kuehs in the workshop, the studio directly. Yes, so it's supposed to be a therapeutic kueh making workshop whereby you slowly knead the dough, you listen to the music, you hear yourself, you just be still, be slow, and just enjoy the process So this studio actually means a lot to me as well because it wasn't as of what I had planned back then. But I found a greater purpose and meaning to running this studio now because, I'm a single parent myself. Of course, there are times that I can get very busy. So this workshop is really to just be away from your phone for 2 hours, to just give them this time and attention. I think that's what they really want. If possible, I would want their whole family to do it together, not just their mom. We have been very blessed with very good colleagues and staff throughout this whole journey. They really fought hard together with us in the business. It's not easy doing an F&B business, but they held on to the vision and dreams we had together. I think that's the beautiful part about it. I think the other thing that I'm very grateful in this whole journey is that we have a lot of customers who takes care of us, who supports us in our business, who always spread about us to other people, to their friends and so forth. They really didn't have to, but they are always there to share about us. Honestly, I've never thought ahead 5 to 10 years. Of course, we have our vision and motto of where do we want to reach out in future for Kueh Ho Jiak, what kind of community work do we want to do. Of course, I have had hard times whereby, I was so stressed out at work, I got into hormonal imbalance, I put on 15 to 18 kg, I had a lot of distress in my body, and it's a journey that I'm thankful for because probably if I didn't reach there, I wouldn't know what I want today. So I really believe now is living in the moment because there's so much we can do only. Sometimes we plan ahead so much, but it just doesn't walk towards what we have planned. Instead, why not let's value the times we have our family, the quality times that we have. But I do hold on to something always reminding myself, it's a constant reminder, if tomorrow I'm going to pass on, what will I regret? Yeah, so constantly I will ask myself that. To ensure that, today I live myself to the fullest. At least I know there's no regrets of what I'm doing today. Yeah.